Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be testing out and reviewing, I believe this is the newest concealer for Covergirl. This is their Outlast Extreme Wear Concealer. Now you can find these in 20 different shades. I have 4 of the shades here in front of me that we are going to be swatching for today. And they retail anywhere from $9.98 to $12.99 US dollars, just depending on who you're purchasing it from. I purchased all 4 of mine from Walmart and I got them for $9.98 each. Now the details for this concealer are that it is full coverage, it is lightweight, it is waterproof, and it has a smooth finish. Not really sure what that means. Is it matte? Is it semi-matte? Is it radiant? I don't know. So after I swatch them, I am going to let them dry down so that I can get a better idea of what color corrector I want to pair this with for today. And per usual, we are going to be wearing this concealer underneath the eyes with a corrector and without a color corrector to see what kind of coverage we do get throughout the entire day. Now this is a concealer that you can wear for up to 18 hours, or at least that's the claim. I'm not going to be wearing it for 18 hours, but we are going to try to wear it for quite a while today. I'd say more like 8-9 hours. And it's meant for hiding blemishes, which is, I am actually dealing with a couple of blemishes today, and of course, dark circles. Let's go ahead and get into the swatches. I'm going to start off with shade number 817, which is Golden Natural. All right, and that is Golden Natural. Don't worry, I am going to bring it up closer once I have all 4 of the shades on the back of my hand. Next, we have the shade 825, which is Buff Beige. And that is Buff Beige, definitely lighter than the first shade. The next shade is Medium Beige, which is number 842. The formula on this seems to be pretty thick, slightly, like creamy. That's just from the swatches. We'll see how they dry down. So that is Medium Beige. And the last shade that I have is Soft Honey, which is 855. And that is what it looks like there. So these are the 4 shades up close. The first one is Golden Natural. Second being Buff Beige. The third is Medium Beige. And the last is Soft Honey. All right, so I waited a few minutes before making my decision as far as which shade I'm going to go with for today. And I think I am doing the first shade, which is Golden Natural. The ones in the center are just too neutral, or too cool, actually, too cool tone. And the last one is just a bit too deep. So definitely going to choose this one over the other 3 for today. And before I forget, this is what they look like up close. And I'm pretty sure that these have a matte finish. I'm not pretty sure. I am absolutely sure that these have a matte finish. I more than matte. It's like, this is not going anywhere. I'm shocked. Like they're kind of rubbing off a tiny bit. But for the most part, look. And I'm rubbing, guys, okay? Like, I was not expecting for them to dry down like this at all. So let's go ahead and get started with a color corrector. Using my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. After seeing that, I am absolutely gonna need a little bit of hydration, like a hydrating layer. I'm using the shade Medium. For foundation today, I'm going with the True Skin Serum Foundation from Ilia. Love this stuff. And today I'm applying it with my airbrush kabuki. This one is the F85 from Sigma. I'm still kind of unsure as far as how I'm going to blend this out based on how it dried down. I think I'm going to do the Jamie makeup technique, which is with a blending brush, like a really light blending brush, something for the eye, because I know it's going to be pigmented. I know it is. But I don't want to be too heavy-handed with it because here, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So you see that? I don't want to over-apply because it's going to look super cakey. It's not budging, it's not going anywhere, but it looks thick. So I want to avoid my under eye area from looking like that. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with a blending brush, like an eyeshadow blending brush. And I'm taking it with this eyeshadow brush from Real Techniques. I don't know what the name is because it has worn off. Okay, I've had it that long. So I don't know what the name is, but just a blending brush, an eyeshadow blending brush. I'm gonna take a little bit of the concealer with that, and I'm gonna concentrate the product right here. I have a feeling we're not going to need to set this in any way, which is good because setting it always makes it appear drier and just crepier. So there's that. That was very minimal amount, and I don't foresee this going anywhere, hopefully, based on how the swatches look. This is where I placed the little dot that I was picking it up from, and it's not picking any more up. It sets really fast. You see how it's not moving around? It sets super fast. So definitely do one eye at a time with this one. So I'm putting another tiny dot right there. And this is what we're using for the left eye. Now this might look a little gray when we first apply it, but it is going to dry down a little bit deeper. So I'm hopeful that that's temporary, because just by the looks of it, like right here, it looks too light. It looks like it's way too light for me. So there it is without the corrector. It's a lot of coverage. It really is. This side looks a lot more highlighted than this side because I don't have a corrector underneath it. But I'm assuming that once this dries down and it gets to, like, you know, this shade, this is the shade, it won't look as highlighted underneath the eyes. But even though this is kind of like a highlighting shade right now, you can't see through it. So I don't have like that gray cast underneath the eyes, because usually that's what you get whenever you apply a lighter shade on top of dark circles, like directly on top of your dark circles. You're gonna get like this nasty gray cast underneath, and that's because you're not doing two things. You're either not applying the correct shade, which if you have dark circles, you should try to match your concealer to your foundation shade. That's just gonna completely conceal them, or it's gonna conceal them a lot better than it would with a highlighting shade, which is usually like 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation shade. So you wanna do that first. First of all, you wanna fix your concealer shade. And if you need a little bit more coverage, then I would highly recommend a color corrector, like a nice neutralizing color corrector that's going to bring your, darkness, the under eye darkness, bring it up to like a little bit so that it's a little bit more even with the rest of your complexion. And then that way you're not using as much concealer on top of it to get like really nice full coverage. The amount of coverage on this concealer is insane. This is setting the exact same way that it's set on the back of my hand. Because it is setting very quickly and it's setting like this, I am not going to set this concealer whatsoever. I'm not going to touch it with powder because I have a feeling that if you do set it with powder, it's just going to look like too much. So I don't want to do that. And honestly, I don't think that this concealer really needs to be set. I mean, it's setting, and it kind of looks like it's going to be one of those like set it and forget it. It's going to set and that's the way that it's going to wear, hopefully. Now, before moving on to the rest of my routine, I'm going to zoom you guys in so that you can get a good close-up look underneath the eyes with just the one layer of this concealer. All right, so here's the under eye area up close. I am absolutely getting full coverage out of this over here. And I feel like I'm getting really nice coverage over here, but it is, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that it is starting to look a little dry on its own. Just maybe a tad bit, right? All right, so let's keep going. I'm going to jump off camera really quickly in order to finish the rest of my makeup for the day, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back, ready to move on with the day. I did have to set this concealer underneath the left eye. I was seeing it kind of move around a little bit. I was seeing it kind of settle, not necessarily feeling very lightweight or comfortable. So I decided to go ahead and set that with a little bit of my new Oma Beauty Trip and Smooth powder. This stuff is like magic. I love this stuff for underneath the eyes, all over the face. This is like the smoothest powder that you could ever put on your face. The right side I did not have to set whatsoever. It's set all on its own on top of my corrector, and it looks really good. It looks really good. It feels very lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy whatsoever. This side, once I set it, it now feels very lightweight as well. So we'll see how it wears. It is currently 12:03. It is 12:03 in the afternoon. I do plan on wearing this, like I said, for about like 8 or 9 hours. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the day goes. I will see you guys back here in a few hours for my midday check-in, in which I will show you more close-ups, and we'll do it all under natural lighting to give you a better idea of what this looks like in person, So I will see you back here in a few hours for my midday check-in. All right, so I'm back for a quick midday check-in. It is currently 4:46, so I've had this concealer on now for almost 5 hours. This is the under eye area. As you can clearly see, we don't want to set this concealer. This looks awful. However, look at this side. It's like still very concealed. It's not looking dry. It doesn't feel cakey. It feels very, very lightweight and comfortable. And yeah, the coverage is just, it's kind of insane. This side just looks, it looks really dry. It looks like I've worn it for a really, really long time. Of course, the only difference is that I used a powder, a setting powder on top of it. And yeah, it's not looking great, that's for sure. Let me see if I can at least blend it out a little bit, maybe with a brush, or maybe just my finger. Just to try to alleviate this separation that's happening underneath the eye. It's like separating in between my fine lines, and it looks really, really dry. I think that kind of helped it a little bit. We're just gonna leave it like that. It's wearable for another few hours, so we're just gonna leave it like that for now. I think I'm gonna call it a day around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, probably closer to 9 to give it a full day. I know that you guys, some of you really want me to stretch it as far as I can, but like that door is across the way from my son's bedroom, and if it's any time past like 9:30, I'm just afraid that I'm gonna wake him while I'm in here talking. So that's why I like to kind of end my days at around, filming days at least, at around like 8:30, 9 o'clock some days. But anyway, so I'm gonna try to stretch it to around 8:30, 9 o'clock to give it a longer wear time, and we'll see what we're left with at the end of the day. So I'll see you guys back here in a few hours. All right, I am finally back for my end of day check-in. It is currently 9:13 and I am done. I am done with the day. Can't wait to wash my face and just relax. And before I get into what I think about this concealer after wearing it for an entire day, I'm going to zoom you guys in one last time so that you can get a nice close look underneath the eyes after a full day of wear. So here it is, the last close-up of the day. This is the side with the color corrector and no setting powder. And this is the side without the color corrector and with the setting powder. So there it is. The right side is definitely the winner for the day. The left side just looks excessively dry. The concealer moved around. It's just, I cannot wait to wash this off. But the right side, it still looks really, really good. It looks nice. Everything is just like set. And I think that it wore better over here than over here for two reasons. For one, we didn't use as much. We used a very, very small amount because I did neutralize the darkness before I went in with concealer. So I didn't really need a whole lot other than like right here, and just I dragged the product a little bit out just so that it's nice and even. Now because we used such a small amount, I didn't need to set it. This concealer really does not need to be set, or shouldn't be set, because when you do, this is what you end up with. It is just not a good time over here. It looks excessively dry. It's definitely broken up and just kind of like separated in between my fine lines. And it's just, it looks like I've worn it all day. Whereas over here, I don't feel the same way about this side. So pairing this with my Becca corrector and not setting it has been the key to success. Also, the last thing that I'll mention is that this is very, very full coverage. So next time that I apply it, I will be wearing it with a higher coverage foundation so that I could better blend in between where my concealer is and where my foundation begins. Because although it's not extremely noticeable where like my concealer ends, like right here, and then where my foundation begins, it still bothered me. So I did notice that throughout the day. Next time, like I said, when I grab this concealer, I'm gonna pair it with something that has a little bit more coverage. So if I'm doing full coverage underneath the eye, I'm doing full coverage along the face, and that way you won't see, you know, the difference in coverage from here to here. To sum everything up, I think you're either gonna really love this concealer or you're really gonna hate it. wearing it the way that I did over here, I will absolutely continue to wear it like that because it delivers full coverage, it looks really nice, and it lasts all day. Now, if you're someone who wants something a little bit more hydrating, this is not gonna be good. Or if you're someone who just has to set the under eye area, because I know personally sometimes I just have to because the under eye area can feel a little sticky, not as comfortable, and in order to get rid of that feeling, I have to set it, depending on which concealer I'm using it with. So if you're someone who has to set it, then this concealer might also not be great for you because it looks really dry when set because the finish of it is matte, like true matte. So it's just going to depend. It depends on what your preferences are as far as what you're looking for when you're picking out a concealer. But if you're someone like me who wants full coverage, you know, every once in a while, I'd love full coverage underneath the eyes, and you prefer a matte formula, then this, something you should consider for sure. Overall, I'm happy with my purchase. I'm glad I tried it, and like I said, I will be using it again. Now, before ending this video, I do want to introduce a subscriber spotlight integration. I'm going to try to do this in most of my videos in which I spotlight one of your channels or someone that you know, their channels. I know that it's really hard to grow on YouTube sometimes. It can be a struggle. Trust me, I've been on this platform since 2015. If you can believe it. And it's hard. It was hard getting like those first few subscribers and then the first 100, the first 1,000. It takes a long time. And unless you have like 1 or 2 videos go viral, it's really like hard for anybody to really truly like collect an audience, even if you have great content. So I really want to help out because I know how much work goes into creating videos. And so I definitely want you guys to get the spotlight that you deserve if you yourself also have a channel. So the first spotlight goes to Joanne Salas here on YouTube. She goes by Love Always Joanne over on Instagram. She has been a subscriber of mine for a long time and she has so many good recipes over on her channel. One of which I am going to try with the kids this weekend because those Disney churros look delicious and I'm always here for a churro. She also has videos on autism awareness because her son Michael has autism, and so she talks about like stress management, a lot of very informative information for other mothers that have children with autism. I just find her to be so wonderful and so inspiring and also very, very, very kind. So make sure that you definitely check out her channel. I will leave her link down in the description box below as well as her Instagram handle. If you yourself have a YouTube channel and you'd like to be in my next spotlight, make sure that you leave that YouTube channel down in the comment section below and I will absolutely add it to my list. And so that you guys can check out each other's channels, I will absolutely be going through the comments and going to other people's channels and adding you to my list and doing it all because like I said, I know that it's hard, but if you love what you do, if you love making videos, just stick with it and you will find success. I promise you. Anyway, that truly completes it now. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed today's product review and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And also don't forget to follow me over on Instagram where I absolutely love to interact with you guys. As always, take care and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye.